I replaced my marketing team with ChatGPT, Claude and Gemini. The winner shocked me. 2026. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you fired your entire marketing team and replaced them with nothing but artificial intelligence? It sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie, but that's exactly what I decided to do. For the next 30 days, I handed every important marketing task to 3 of the world's most powerful AI tools, ChatGPT, Claude and Gemini. No human marketers, no freelancers, no agencies, just AI. The goal was simple. I wanted to see which AI could actually grow a real business, not by answering random questions or writing essays, but by solving real marketing problems that businesses face every single day. Which one could write the best ads? Which one could create the highest converting emails? Which one could produce viral social media posts? Which one understood customers better? And most importantly, which one could actually make money? By the end of this experiment, one AI completely surprised me. It wasn't the one I expected to win, and the results changed the way I think about marketing forever. Welcome back to NextGen. If you're interested in AI, online business, and the future of making money, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Before replacing my marketing team, I listed every task they normally handled. Content creation, email marketing, Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO, product descriptions, blog writing, market research, customer support, sales funnels, landing pages, video scripts, social media calendars, everything. Then I divided these tasks equally between ChatGPT, Claude and Gemini. Each AI received the exact same instructions. Each one had the same amount of time. Each one worked with the same budget, and every result would be measured using real numbers instead of opinions. The first challenge was market research. Normally, this process takes hours. Human marketers search trends, analyze competitors, and study customer reviews. I wanted to know which AI could find profitable opportunities the fastest. ChatGPT immediately started organizing information into neat categories. It identified customer pain points, market gaps, pricing strategies, and competitor weaknesses in an incredibly structured way. Everything was easy to read and surprisingly detailed. Claude approached the problem differently. Instead of focusing only on data, it tried to understand customer psychology. It explained why people buy certain products, what emotions influence purchasing decisions, and how brands could build trust over time. Gemini surprised me with its ability to connect information from different industries. Instead of only studying competitors, it suggested trends from completely different markets that could be adapted to my business. After reviewing everything, I realized something interesting. There wasn't a clear winner yet. Each AI had a completely different way of thinking. ChatGPT was logical. Claude was thoughtful. Gemini was creative. The second challenge was creating Facebook advertisements. This is where things became much more competitive. I asked every AI to write 5 different ads promoting the same digital product. ChatGPT produced clean, professional advertisements with strong calls to action. Every sentence felt optimized for clicks. Claude focused heavily on storytelling. Instead of immediately selling the product, it built curiosity before introducing the offer. Gemini experimented with bold hooks that grabbed attention within the first few seconds. I launched all 15 ads using the same audience, the same budget, and identical settings. For the first 24 hours, ChatGPT was leading comfortably. Its click-through rate was the highest. Its cost per click was the lowest. I honestly thought the competition was already over. But then something unexpected happened. During the next 3 days, Claude's advertisement started converting visitors into actual buyers at a much higher rate. People weren't just clicking, they were purchasing. Meanwhile, Gemini's ads generated the highest engagement. Likes, comments, and shares exploded compared to the others. That was the first lesson. Getting attention is not the same as making sales. Next came email marketing. I asked each AI to create a complete 5-email sales sequence. The first email introduced the product. The second educated customers. The third handled objections. The fourth created urgency. The fifth asked for the sale. Once again, every AI had its own personality. ChatGPT wrote emails that felt polished and persuasive. Claude sounded like a trusted advisor having a genuine conversation. Gemini created energetic emails filled with excitement and curiosity. After sending these campaigns to similar audiences, the numbers were fascinating. Gemini achieved the highest open rates. Its subject lines were impossible to ignore. People simply wanted to know what was inside. ChatGPT generated strong click rates. Readers were interested enough to visit the website, but Claude delivered the highest conversion rate. Its emails built trust so effectively that more subscribers became paying customers. At this point, the competition was becoming incredibly close. No single AI dominated everything. Each one excelled in different areas. The next challenge involved creating social media content for 30 consecutive days. Every AI had to produce Instagram captions, LinkedIn posts, X posts, Facebook updates, and YouTube community posts. ChatGPT remained extremely consistent. Every post followed proven marketing frameworks. The quality rarely dropped. Claude created content that felt deeply human. Many posts sounded like they had been written by experienced copywriters rather than software. Gemini took more creative risks. Some posts completely failed. Others performed unbelievably well. One Gemini-generated post reached nearly 3 times the engagement of the average content. That taught me another important lesson. Playing it safe creates consistent results. Taking risks sometimes creates extraordinary results. The next test was perhaps the most difficult. Search engine optimization. I asked every AI to write a long-form article targeting a highly competitive keyword. Each article contained roughly the same number of words. Each included internal links, keyword optimization, meta descriptions, and frequently asked questions. After publishing them, I analyzed readability, originality, keyword coverage, and overall quality. ChatGPT produced the most technically optimized article. Everything followed SEO best practices. Claude wrote the most enjoyable article to read. Instead of sounding robotic, it felt like an expert explaining a topic naturally. Gemini created the most original content structure, introducing ideas that competitors hadn't covered. If I were publishing content for humans, I'd probably choose Claude. If I were optimizing for search engines alone, ChatGPT would have the advantage. If I wanted to stand out from competitors, Gemini offered something unique, but the biggest challenge was still waiting. I wanted each AI to design an entire marketing funnel from start to finish. This meant writing the landing page, creating ad copy, building the email sequence, developing follow-up messages, suggesting pricing strategies, and even recommending upsells. This wasn't just about writing anymore. This was about thinking like a complete marketing strategist. And that's where everything changed. One AI suddenly started pulling ahead in a way I never expected. Instead of simply completing individual tasks, it connected every piece into one seamless customer journey. Every message flowed naturally into the next. Every email prepared readers for the following offer. Every advertisement matched the landing page perfectly. It felt less like random content and more like a carefully designed marketing system. For the first time in the experiment, I began to think that maybe one AI really was operating on another level. And honestly, I didn't see it coming. The real test wasn't writing better copy. It wasn't creating prettier emails. It wasn't getting more likes or comments. The only number that mattered was revenue. At the end of the 30 days, I collected every result into one spreadsheet. Every click, every lead, every sale, every conversion, and every dollar earned. This was the moment I had been waiting for. For weeks I had watched ChatGPT, Claude and Gemini compete in different categories. Sometimes one would dominate. Sometimes another would surprise me. But now there could only be one winner. I started with website traffic. Gemini had generated the most visitors by a comfortable margin. Its creative headlines and attention-grabbing content attracted people faster than anything else. Some of its campaigns went far beyond my expectations, pulling in thousands of extra impressions without increasing the advertising budget. But there was a problem. Traffic doesn't automatically become profit. A huge percentage of those visitors left without buying anything. Next, I looked at engagement. Again, Gemini performed incredibly well. Social media posts received more comments, more shares, and more reactions than the other two AIs. It clearly understood how to capture attention in today's fast-moving online world. If my only goal had been building brand awareness, Gemini would have been very difficult to beat. Then I opened the email marketing results. ChatGPT delivered reliable performance across every campaign. Open rates stayed consistent. Click-through rates remained strong. Every email looked polished, professional, and persuasive. There were almost no weak campaigns. It was exactly what you would expect from an experienced marketer who follows proven strategies. Then came Claude. This is where the experiment took an unexpected turn. Claude didn't generate the highest traffic. It didn't create the most viral posts. It didn't produce the flashiest headlines. But something remarkable happened after customers arrived. People trusted the message. Instead of pushing for an immediate sale, Claude focused on answering questions before customers even asked them. It acknowledged objections. It explained benefits naturally. It built confidence instead of pressure. That simple difference completely changed the buying behavior. Visitors stayed longer. They read more. They opened follow-up emails. They returned to the website. And most importantly, they completed their purchases. When I calculated the final conversion rates, Claude had quietly taken the lead. Not by a massive margin, but enough to win. At first, I honestly thought I had made a mistake, so I checked the numbers again. Then again. Everything matched. The AI I expected to finish second had actually produced the highest overall revenue. That completely changed my assumptions. For years, marketers have been obsessed with clicks, impressions, followers, and engagement. But businesses don't survive on likes. They survive on sales. Claude consistently generated customers who were ready to buy. That made all the difference. Now let's talk about speed, because in business, time is money. I measured how long each AI needed to complete identical marketing tasks. ChatGPT was usually the fastest, whether it was writing advertisements, generating product descriptions, creating landing pages, or producing marketing ideas. It responded incredibly quickly. For businesses producing large amounts of content every day, that speed is extremely valuable. Gemini came close in several tasks, especially when brainstorming creative campaigns. Claude usually took slightly longer because its responses were more detailed and carefully reasoned. But those extra minutes often resulted in stronger final copy. Then I measured editing time. This surprised me even more. ChatGPT's work required only minor adjustments before publishing. Claude's writing needed very little editing because it already sounded natural. Gemini occasionally required additional polishing, especially when it became too creative or drifted away from the original objective. That wasn't necessarily a weakness. Sometimes those unusual ideas became the best performing campaigns. Other times they completely missed the target. It was a high-risk, high-reward approach. Next, I tested customer support. I gave each AI hundreds of realistic customer questions, refund requests, shipping delays, product complaints, technical problems, general inquiries. ChatGPT answered quickly and accurately. Claude responded with empathy while still solving the customer's problem. Gemini often suggested creative solutions that went beyond the original question. If I were building an automated customer support system today, I'd probably combine all three strengths. Fast responses from ChatGPT, human-like communication from Claude, creative problem-solving from Gemini. That combination would be incredibly powerful. Another lesson became obvious during the experiment. AI isn't replacing marketers, it's replacing repetitive work. The hours spent writing first drafts, researching competitors, creating product descriptions, brainstorming headlines, organizing campaigns, summarizing reports, generating ideas. Those tasks that once consumed entire workdays now take minutes. That doesn't eliminate human creativity. It gives creative people more time to focus on strategy. The companies that understand this shift will move much faster than their competitors. The companies that ignore it may struggle to keep up. As the experiment continued, I noticed something else. Every AI became more effective when given better instructions. The quality of the prompts directly affected the quality of the results. A vague request produced average content. A detailed request with clear goals produced exceptional marketing. That means the real competitive advantage isn't simply having access to AI. Millions of people already have access. The advantage comes from knowing how to communicate with it effectively. Prompt engineering isn't just a trend, it's becoming a valuable business skill. By the end of the month, I had completed more marketing work than my original team could have produced in the same amount of time. Not because AI worked magic, but because it eliminated delays. No waiting for revisions, no scheduling meetings, no long approval chains. Ideas moved from concept to execution almost instantly. That speed changes everything, especially for small businesses and solo entrepreneurs. Years ago, building a marketing department required hiring writers, designers, researchers, analysts, and advertising specialists. Today, one person equipped with the right AI tools can accomplish an incredible amount of work. That doesn't mean every business should fire its employees tomorrow. Human experience still matters. Brand strategy still matters. Understanding customers still matters. Relationships still matter. AI is a powerful assistant. It's not a perfect replacement for human judgment. So, after 30 days, who actually won? If I wanted the fastest content production, I would choose ChatGPT. If I wanted the most creative campaigns and viral potential, I would choose Gemini. But if my only goal was generating the highest revenue, building trust, and creating marketing that converted visitors into paying customers, Claude delivered the strongest overall performance. That was the biggest surprise of the entire experiment. Because the winner wasn't the loudest, it wasn't the fastest, it wasn't the most viral. It was simply the one that consistently helped customers make confident buying decisions. And in business, that's what matters most. The biggest lesson I learned wasn't which AI was best. It was that no single AI is perfect. The smartest marketers won't choose only one. They'll combine the strengths of all three. Use ChatGPT for speed. Use Gemini for creativity. Use Claude for persuasive communication. Together, they become a marketing system that's more powerful than any single tool alone. The future of business isn't humans versus AI. It's humans working alongside AI to accomplish far more than either could achieve alone. And after this experiment, I can confidently say one thing. The businesses that learn how to use AI today will have a major advantage over those that wait until everyone else has already adapted. If you enjoyed this experiment and want to see more real-world AI challenges, subscribe to NextGen. In the next video, I'll put even more advanced AI tools head-to-head in another business experiment to find out which one can actually make the most money in 2026. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.